The following is a presentation of the World Baseball Classic.
Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 1.
¡Siéntate! Lo retrata sin sonrisa.
Gone! George has arrived. Good night now. Santa Maria. High and deep and gone.
World Baseball Classic. You get it all.
Welcome to Houston. Welcome to Pool B. Brazil and Italy start our World Baseball Classic Day. Daikin Park, our first look at Italy. Jack Caglione, Kyle Teel, a Pasquatch sighting. This is a fun Italian team. It opened yesterday. Mexico, Great Britain. Tight game, broken open late. Mexico gets the win. Brazil hung in against USA. But when it ended, a 15-5 win for Team USA. Brazil is 0-1. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Dan Plesac. John Morosi joins us back. And Brazil's right back at it today with a noon start here in Houston. And our first look at Italy.
I think Italy is team danger lurking in this pool. They've added some major league talent. Manager Francesco Cervelli and a coaching staff second to none. Team Italy thinks they can do some damage in this pool.
Well, Brazil had a guy that did damage. This is Manny Ramirez's son, Lucas. Lucas being Lucas last night, 2 homers.
Yeah, with Manny in attendance, he rocked Logan Webb's world in the bottom of the first inning. And then a little left-on-left crime hits this home run off of Gabe Spire. 2 home runs, 2 big swings. He's off to a flying start.
And I think officially this is his first appearance on StatCast.
And I'll tell you what a way to make an entrance. He really shocked Team USA last night with that leadoff home run off of Logan Webb.
All right, let's start in on Italy here. It's great to see all these World Baseball Classics, a nation like Italy get better and better and better. And 2023 was their best. They were overseas. They were trying to get to the quarterfinals. They had to beat the Netherlands to do it. It was such a crazy pool. Everybody finished at 2-2. It was a 5-way tie. And at the end, they found out they had advanced. They had earned the right to play Japan. Now, this version in 2026 has been reinforced with big leaguers.
Yeah, Kyle Teel, exciting young catcher for Chicago White Sox. Jack Caglione provides some thump. And then you look at Dominic Canzone, who the Seattle Mariners are really high on, and Jacob Marcy has made a name for himself with the Marlins. So they've added some big league talent.
Well, and they've also added some big arms. Aaron Nola, Michael Lorenzen.
I think this is the key why it makes Italy dangerous. Aaron Nola's had a tremendous career with the Philadelphia Phillies. Michael Lorenzen has pitched well in multiple roles. He'll be starting, but he does have some bullpen experience. Those two are going to lead the starting rotation.
For more perspective on Team Italy, nobody knows more about Italian baseball, about Italian food, about Italian culture than John Morosi. JP?
Rich, thank you very much. The goal of the Classic is to build chemistry as quickly as you can, and it helps to have an experienced coaching staff. Team Italy certainly has that, led by manager Francesco Cervelli. 15 World Series rings among the coaches. 4 of them belong to Jorge Posada, Cervelli's teammate on the 2009 New York Yankees. And then 2 coaches from the early 2010s Giants dynasty, Dave Righetti and Ron Wotus. On the mound for Team Italy, a new face, 24-year-old Samuel Aldegheri, the first pitcher ever born and raised in Italy to reach the major leagues. Aldegheri was born in the city of Verona, home to a 2,000-year-old Roman amphitheater, the Verona Arena, that recently was hosting the closing ceremonies at the Milano Cortina Olympic Games. Verona, the city of Shakespeare, romance, and yes, baseball. The World Baseball Classic debut of Samuel Aldegheri will be the 2 hours traffic of our global baseball stage. lineups, and first pitch from Houston are next.
To the 5 countries in Pool B in Houston. And of course, Team USA looked great last night. Mexico is a power. This might be the 3rd best team. And as Dan said, this is a dangerous team in Italy. And Brazil, of course, playing last night. We met Lucas Ramirez. Manny is in attendance. And what a proud pop last night. 2 home runs against 2 high-quality Major League pitchers. Gabriel Gomez is an addition in the DH spot. Brazil would like to get out, Dan, and run a little bit more, play more small ball.
Yeah, last night they just had their hands full of pitchers, really. Inability to throw strikes kind of put Brazil behind the 8 ball last night, and Team USA was able to take advantage of a quick turnaround. Day game after a night game from Team Brazil, and they're going to be up against it. This Team Italy could be one of the sleeper teams in this pool.
Sam Aldegheri is the first Italian-born pitcher to be raised in Italy and get to the big leagues as a starter with the Angels. 2 years there. He's 1-4 with the Angels, but he's had a really nice minor league ride in that system.
Yeah, and he has a really good arm too, Rich. You can see why the Angels are so high on him. Take a look at that mix of pitches that he has. He'll throw that 4-seam fastball almost 50% of the time. His changeup has gotten a lot better as the slider and both the curveball. The key early, get ahead with strike one. When you're making your first appearance in the World Baseball Classic, there's usually a little bit of nerves that set in, and hopefully he can settle down and command the strike zone. If he does, he should have a pretty productive afternoon.
I think Brazil has to take some positives out of last night. Not the pitching that was erratic late, but the offense and the ability to stay with Team USA for a good portion of that game. Gomez, the DH, and he chases one, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and we're underway. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Aldegheri has a pretty good fastball from the left side, 92 to 94 miles an hour. Really good slider, and his changeup has gotten a lot better. So relies basically on those 3 pitches. He'll throw an occasional curveball and mix that in mostly to lefties.
Maralia, Brazil. That's the hometown of Gabriel Gomez. And he swings through that, and Aldegheri makes quick work of Brazil's leadoff hitter.
Yeah, a little cutting action on that 4-seam fastball. It's a really good pitch to have if you can work the ball in on right-handers. Great 0-2 pitch.
Last night was so much fun to watch Manny and his wife and his son on the biggest of stages that he's been in. He's 20 years old, and he wasn't fazed. Logan Webb, no problem. The 1-0. And it misses up.
What was really impressive was the home run he hit off of Gabe Spire last night. Spire, one of the top relievers, left-handed. He's had a terrific year last year with the Mariners. Spire's tried to run a 2-seam fastball in on him, and Lucas beat him to that spot and hit it about 6 rows deep in right field.
Took a cut at a 2-0 pitch, and it's 2-1. Born in Weston, Florida. That's a suburb of Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And takes away there. Played in the 2025 qualifiers because Brazil had to win games to get here, and he helped them get here. He hit .385, played right field, batted second. He's aboard. And now let's see if Brazil, in a game like this, as opposed to last night against Team USA, will put the game in motion.
Yeah, defensively for Italy, Kyle Teal, strong throwing arm, promising catcher, broke into the big leagues last year with the White Sox. University of Virginia product from the northern New Jersey area.
Leonardo Regenato, 1 for 4 last night. He's been their third baseman and their 3-hole hitter. And Ramirez is chased back Again, if you're just watching your first World Baseball Classic game, all Major League Baseball rules are in effect, including the new ones that have come in over the last 2 or 3 years in the game. The one that's not in the World Baseball Classic is the ABS Ball Strike Challenge system that's being used in spring training and will be implemented in the Major League season.
Really good sequence there by Aldegari. Back-to-back changeups. Try to slow your man Reginado down.
Ramirez, good sized lead. 80-mile-an-hour changeup. And down he goes. It's a pair of strikeouts for Aldegari.
Yeah, that could be Aldegari's best friend. So many hitters now, it's so early on in the year. You see that great arm action. Out of that split finger change. Makes it really easy for Kyle Teel when you have a pitcher that can command the strike zone. Fastball has some life. So far, his changeup is on point.
Dante Bichette Jr. now, 0 for 3 last night. He's the older of the brothers. Younger brother, Bo. Aldegari to the plate. Soft serve changeup for a strike. It's 0-1.
4 consecutive changeups from Aldegari. Scouting report on Team Brazil. They're anxious. They go up there ready to swing, try to slow those bats down a little bit.
Got him! That's the old-fashioned snap throw to first. And Ramirez is picked off. Aldegari means business.
Terrific quick feet. That's the key, is quick feet and a short throw. Throws it to the glove side of Vinny Pasquantino. Makes it an easy tag and a pickoff.
Underway. Day 2 in Houston. Today, day 1, except Italy. So the first AB, Jacob Marcy's in the box, and that's a strike from 22-year-old Enzo Sawayama.
Yeah, the main goal for Brazil. Attack the strike zone. They had a difficulty last night. We touched on it, Rich. 221 pitches. Brazilian pitchers threw last night, only 96 for strikes. That's about 44%. Need to do a better job of attacking the strike zone.
Marcy hits that ball in the air to right center field. Maciel is there to make the catch. Let's take a look at this Italy lineup. Francisco Cervelli, the manager, wants to be aggressive, and he's got speed. This is dotted with major leaguers, maybe not stars, but really solid, good major leaguers. John Berti, Pasquantino, Canzone, Teel, the great catching prospect of the White Sox. Caglione is making a name for himself as well. And here is Berti. Plucky infielder, 36 years old now. He's a free agent, 8 major league seasons. And he smacks that one into left center field. Maciel slides, can't make the catch. Berti around first, on his way to second, and that's a double.
Maciel gets a good jump on this one. Kind of maybe overslid to try to get it. As a pitcher, you really appreciate the effort when your outfielder sells out for one. Tries to pick that one off the grass.
There's your defense for Brazil. Now you get into some of the bigger bats. Pasquantino would qualify for that, certainly. 28-year-old, 5th year with the Royals, huge 2025, 32 homers, 113 driven in. That was good for 3rd in the American League. All career highs for this big lefty bat.
Kind of tale of 2 seasons for Vinny last year. Struggled really almost to the middle part of May. And his bat got hot right down towards the end. One of the big reasons why there are a lot of people that think the Kansas City Royals, with that good young pitching staff that they have, Vinny Pasquantino very much a part of the plans of the Kansas City Royals.
on one pitch fouled off. You saw that shot of the infield alignment. And of course, one of the major league rule changes, shifting. You can't bring 3 on one side of second base. But Rojo and Bichette are really pulled towards the line at second and at first. So there's a huge gap between Rojo, the second baseman, and second base. Pasquantino takes down low.
You know, so much in the day and age now where teams follow that data. Most of the time when Vinny hits the ball on the ground, he's going to hit it to the pull side. Normally right between that hole between second and first, and you can see that Team Brazil pretty much has that hole covered up. Be hard for Vinny to get one between second baseman and the first baseman.
He does roll it to Rojo. Gobbles it up, fires to first in time. There's a lot more data about Team Italy than there is about Team Brazil, because you've got so many major leaguers, and whether it's, you know, Fangraphs or Baseball Savant, wherever you want to go online, you can just scout guys yourself from the comfort of your living room.
I think, especially in this day and age now where there's just so much video that's available that you can go to on the internet, you don't have to be super sophisticated to try to find some data. We talked to Mark DeRosa, Team USA, yesterday, talking about that young pitcher last night, Contreras. I'm just saying, basically, he went to his son for a scouting report because he had played against him in some of the tournaments in Atlanta.
This is Dominic Canzone. Seattle really likes this guy. His bat plays so well. And in that ballpark in Seattle, it's one of the very toughest to hit in terms of park factor. But Canzone makes it look small at times. 11 homers in 82 games in Seattle. Runner at third, 2 down. Smacked to right and caught there. Ramirez made a step to his right and then raced to his left and makes the catch. Underway and scoreless, Brazil and Italy. First game of the day in Houston, and a scoreless start into the second. Dante Bichette was at the plate when Lucas Ramirez was picked off to end the first. Just 12 pitches. Nice tidy first inning for Sam Aldeguerri. Bichette followed by Lucas Rojo and Victor Mascai.
Starts Bichette off with the first pitch changeup.
That was a popular selection for him in the first inning. It makes 92 feel like 95, 96.
Well, that's a terrific sequence of pitches there by Aldeguerri. You pull the string, first pitch. You touched on it, Rich. Makes that 92 look play up in the mid-90s.
Bichette fouls it back to the screen. How much do you think for Brazil, the wow factor of last night, watching Judge, you know, pitchers who have pitching in college facing Harper and all of that, it doesn't seem like that is the same case here against Italy. That's a good change.
Another great straight changeup by Aldeguerri. Starts him off with a changeup, a couple of fastballs, and then pulls the string on him again. Really well located. Makes it really easy for Kyle Teel when the pitcher can command the pitch. Teel sitting off that outer half of the plate. Bullseye. Terrific pitch.
So now Rojo, first pitch swinging, pops it into shallow right. Caglione makes the catch.
You know, getting back to what you were talking about, that Team USA lineup last night. Listen, I don't care. You could be a big leaguer with 10 years of experience. You see that lineup that Mark DeRosa rolls out for Team USA. It's hard not to, you know, talk to yourself and convince yourself that you have to pound the strike zone. Go through Aaron Judge and Harper, Schwarber, and the list goes on and on. Then you have a guy that was hitting down at the bottom last night, Bryce Terang, in the 9-hole. It's one of the things Mark DeRosa told us before the game. He wanted to have some speed and some quality of hitters at the top and the bottom of the order. It's a monstrous lineup that Team USA puts out there.
It felt like, as Mascai swings and misses, it felt like the Brazilian hitters did a better job than the Brazilian pitchers last night. And Mascai, a good example. He popped a 2-run homer. They hit 3 home runs against a terrific Team USA pitching staff.
You know, got back to the room last night. I was thinking about before the game, we were on the field talking with the managers, and I think most of the media were asking questions. You know, most of it centered around what do you tell your pitchers to attack this lineup? And I think it's hard not to see that if you're a pitcher. You look at that lineup of Team USA, and as a pitcher, you want to believe in your stuff. But when you see a guy 6'7", 280 pounds, and Aaron Judge, you have Bobby Witt Jr. at the top of the lineup. There's speed, there's stump, there's power. There's nowhere to really go as a pitcher. You're always looking for a soft spot in the lineup where you can pick off a couple of outs that you don't feel terrified. 1 through 9, that USA lineup is about as solid as it gets.
3-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. And Aldigueri has faced the minimum through his 2 innings. Bottom of the second, Italy's second swings coming up. The history of Italy and baseball, very strong. I mean, just the names. You got a pair of great managers. Of course, the Dodger connection. And now, in the World Baseball Classic, you have Team Italy with plenty of Major League flavor. John Morosi, the history, and you, as you displayed in our fabulous Open, have such great knowledge of Italy. The baseball history, especially early in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, very, very strong.
Very strong indeed, and it continued right on till the only meeting to this point between Italy and the U.S. in the World Baseball Classic. That was back in 2013, and as the story goes, Tommy Lasorda managed Team USA to a gold medal in the Olympics. He speaks to Team USA before that game, and he says, "Gentlemen, you're representing the greatest country in the world. What a great honor this is." Then he walks down the hall to the Italian clubhouse and says, "Gentlemen, you're representing the greatest country in the world. What a great honor this is." So Tommy believes there are 2 greatest countries, Italy and the U.S., and that day certainly proved that.
And, look, we talked about 2023 and how significant that was. And part of it was the teams they beat. They beat Cuba and the Netherlands to advance to the quarterfinals. To get beat by Japan as Zach DeZenzo swings and misses. Sawayama gets a strikeout. That's a rather large impact, and with Francisco Cervelli, that just seems to be a real groundswell of Italian baseball over in Italy. Here's Kyle Teal. You've seen this guy. University of Virginia catcher, smokes one on a hop. Rojo on to first.
Yeah, the White Sox are really high on that guy right there, Kyle Teal. Calls a really good game, has some thunder in his bat too, and I think before this Pool B is over, he's going to come up with some big hits for Team Italy.
Now Caglione, with the Royals last year, just getting up. He's a really interesting hitter, massive power, and the hope is that the contact and the discipline piece fall in line. Good scouting, a line drive. Baraghi has it. We're scoreless, headed to the 3rd. Brazil and Italy scoreless right now, top of the 3rd. And Gabriel Ducarmo will lead it off. Coraggi and Maciel. This is bottom 3rd of the order. And Sam Aldigueri, the Angels lefty, has been very, very sharp, very economical. And that's important because 65 is his pitch limit. So you want to throw strikes, you want to be in the zone. And it's Francisco Cervelli.
in the meeting before the game with Cervelli, one of the reporters asked him, what do you expect out of Aldegari? You expect him to get to that 65 pitches? And without hesitation, he replied, nodded and said yes. So they're hoping that he could get a little bit deeper into this game. Boy, his changeup has been terrific. We touched on it yesterday. I think for young pitchers right now, high school age, junior college, college area, everyone's chasing spin and velocity. But if you can pull the string, and that straight changeup is such a devastating pitch, especially in the day and age now where hitters are used to hitting velocity. You could throw 91, 92 and have that changeup 84, 85 miles an hour around it. 8 to 10 mile an hour difference.
I know that we're, 14 hours from the end of the game last night, but the last guy they saw last night is the hardest thrower in the world, right? Mason Miller.
I mean, it's just, if Mason Miller is throwing strikes, he struggled a little bit with his command yesterday, but if he's able to get ahead strike one and he starts mixing in that vicious slider that he has, it's nearly impossible to cover both. You just have to go up there as a hitter and like, okay, I'm going to look for a ball in a certain area, get the bat started quick. If he has both his pitches, it's going to be a long night.
DeCarmo out into center, and a dive, no catch. That's a base hit. Marcy had a good route, and it looked for a moment he may have it, but after the slide, the ball popped out.
Yeah, terrific effort by Marcy. He gets a good read on it. He leaves his feet, and it just hits below the glove. Fortunate for him, he knocks it down enough that ball doesn't get by, and that 409 sign out in center field. Keep it at a long single.
Now Karaji was at shortstop. Aldegari has already picked off one Brazilian runner. That was Lucas Ramirez back in the first. By the way, this field is in incredible shape. This is one of the few retractables or domes that still has grass.
Some of the ground crew guys were telling us before.
Aldegari off the mound. A little small ball here. Brazil trying to scratch out a run to get their first lead of the Classic.
Yeah, there was a concert here 2 weeks before this Pool B opened. This field was nothing but dirt, but take a look at it now. It looks like it's in mid-season form. Natural grass surface ball.
When I heard that story, I said, well, then they just rolled the turf out. And he said, no, it's grass. And it's like, really? Because a lot of the retractables, like I said, because it's hard to get sunlight on the grass, but this type of grass they've found has been perfect for this ballpark. As Maciel in the 9th spot takes ball one.
It was kind of cool yesterday. JP was telling us before the game, a lot of the players on Brazil and even some for Great Britain, it's the first time they ever played on a major league field. You'll never forget that first experience when you walk out of a dugout to a big league ballpark and get an opportunity to play on it. Surface is pristine, grass, the infield dirt these conditions here at Daikin Park are about as good as they get in Major League Baseball. Just a beautifully manicured ballpark.
Ball and a strike to Maciel. And it's down low. I like their looks on their face when they were down in the clubhouse in the food room having a meal. JP, that's one of the eye-opening experiences in the WBC.
It really is, and I spoke earlier today with Jan Gomes, longtime major leaguer, now on Brazil's coaching staff, and he said he loved the way that Team Brazil arrived at the ballpark this morning. A lot of smiles, no one was weary after the loss last night.
Woo, he turned on that, Maciel. Sometimes, guys, show and go, which is a term in the game, is the best way to go. You don't overthink it, it's just strap it on and go.
Pretty aggressive swing right there by Marcial. There's a good look at Jan Gomes. Might be a straight changeup coming right here from Aldegari. There it is.
There it goes. Maciel is strikeout number 5 for Aldegari, and that's his first time through the order.
Boy, just a terrific sequence of pitches here. Again, Kyle Teel sitting in that outside corner, and Aldegari there, you see that split finger grip just perfectly placed.
So Brazil still has a runner in scoring position. DeCarmo's at second. And Gomez, Gabriel Gomez, the DH. Getting guys in scoring position was tough last night for Brazil. Their runs came on home runs. The 2 solo shots by Ramirez and the 2-run homer by Mascai.
Well, there's that changeup again. When you look at Aldegari, reminds me just of the way he's throwing. The guy that pitched for the Astros and had some good years, Dallas Keuchel, very similar. Sneaky fastball, good straight changeup. Not trying to chase spin or velocity.
JP?
One thing about Keuchel that's also true about Aldegari, Dan, fields his position very well. The athleticism that we saw on that bunt really stands out to me.
Another 1-2 coming to Gomez. And he hangs in there.
Yeah, you get away with a fastball like that, inner third, 93. But when you have the changeup that Aldegari has shown so far going into the 3rd inning, you'll get away with a few of those mistakes. You speed a hitter up. What he's been able to do, following a pattern, try to finish him off here with a straight changeup. Went back to the fastball. See that Gomez was a little late on that. You try to read swings as a pitcher. So you go up. See if he'll go back to that changeup, something down and away.
Good sized lead at second from DeCarmo. Remember, he's a catcher, and a swing and a miss. Man, Aldegari has kept Brazil off balance in his 3 innings of work. Italy back up when we get to the bottom of the 3rd. Scoreless ball game, bottom 3. And Enzo Sawayama opens with a strike. Thomas Saggese, Dante Nori, and then Jacob Marcy. Against this lefty out of Hamamatsu, Japan. It's 1-2. Saggese, the start at shortstop. He is an old school player by all the scouting reports, and appropriately, he plays for St. Louis.
The old school, no batting gloves. Go back to those mid-1980s teams. Mark Grace of the Cubs was a guy that never wore the batting gloves.
That guy didn't. Jorge Posada, swing and a foul tip. And I'll tell you what, Enzo Sawayama looks pretty sharp. That's 2 strikeouts. He's given up just the 1 hit.
Yeah, very similar to Aldegari. The changeup has been a good weapon, and it buys you a little extra real estate on this fastball that's 92 miles an hour. You see that 4-seam grip, foul tip.
Now Nori swings and misses. Nori is just 21. He's a Toronto native. This guy is all about speed and getting on base. 27th overall pick back in 2024 by the Phillies. And he can't wait to face Team USA because his grandfather, an assistant coach at Indiana, was the guy that recruited and signed Kyle Schwarber. And he met Schwarber when he was 7 years old. Nori fouls that one back.
Well, Indiana University had been known so much for their basketball program, but their football program has kind of taken the NCAA by storm, and their baseball program too has hit a huge uptick the last 4 or 5 years.
1-2 is up despite a long frame job by DuCarmo. Two. And the count full now at 3-2.
Tried to throw that slow curveball.
It's in the dirt, and Sawayama, that's his first walk. The skipper of Team Brazil was so animated last night on 2 occasions. One was the argument with the umpire. The other is when he went out to talk to a pitcher and was imploring him to just throw strikes. Little Nubber cut off at third there, and Reginado gets the out. Rojo covering. Marcy gets down the line pretty quickly. He's aboard now with 2 outs.
It was so frustrating for Matsumoto last night. Was he told us before the game he really wanted his pitchers to be on the attack. Easier said than done when you're facing a team like Team USA, that lineup they put out, but 17 walks last night from Brazil.
And for Yuichi Matsumoto, that his meeting today with the press through an interpreter, that was one thing he addressed with his pitching staff. I don't care what happens, just throw strikes. He's sitting in a good spot pitch count wise, 33. And Birdie shoots one into right field. Marcy on his way to third, and he is out at third base. Lucas Ramirez can throw as well. Still scoreless, on to the 4th. Last night, a lot of people got a first look at Lucas Ramirez at the plate. Here's one of the first times we've seen him uncork one.
I'll tell you what, great setup and a terrific throw to Reginado at third base. Try to go first to third on young Lucas Ramirez. Not a good idea. Strong arm, great footwork too, and a quick release.
Lefty on lefty here. Sam Aldegary's been outstanding for Italy. Pitch number 43 misses. 65 is the limit. In the first round of the World Baseball Classic. Has a high pop. DeZenzo, with the roof closed, makes the catch. Just one hit so far for Brazil. Gabriel DuCarmo single led off the third. And then Brazil played a little small ball, sacrificed him to second, but Aldigueri struck out Maciel and Gomez. Reginato, a hit last night. He's 1 for 5. He takes a breaking ball, and it's 1-0. That one fouled back to the screen.
Yeah, it's been really impressive to watch Aldigueri up to this point. 3 1/3, only 1 hit allowed. 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3 innings pitched. He's commanded the changeup very well, located the fastball. And when he's missed, he hasn't missed by much. That was a really good pitch.
Teal trying to frame that on the outside part of the plate. Counts 2-1. That one's way out. PitchCom also used. Some teams use it, some teams have not. Brazil did not use it last night. And that's a strike.
Boy, that's when you have confidence in that changeup to throw it 3-1 to a 3-hole hitter. I could go any way you want if you want to go ahead and try to come in with the 3-2 fastball. That 3-1 changeup will slow a hitter down.
Lost him. So Reginato's at first. Bichette comes to the plate. This is such a fascinating coaching staff for Francisco Cervelli because there's Italian flavor to it, but there's also Jorge Posada, who's quite candidly not Italian, but he's an honorary Italian according to Cervelli. And the beneficiary of that is Kyle Teal behind the plate. I mean, you got Cervelli, Major League catcher, Yankees, always known for his great defense, Pirates as well, and of course Posada. And those are the guys that have been working with Teal through camp and here into Houston. Runner goes, kind of a late start by Reginato, and it's fouled back.
Also have Sal Fasano as the bench coach. Was a terrific catcher too. Great defensive catcher. So some great minds behind the plate helping young Kyle Teal.
Posada not listed on there. He's one of the assistant coaches. That went foul back to the screen.
Back-to-back fastballs from Aldigueri. He likes to throw that changeup with 2 strikes down and away, particularly to a guy like Bichette, who's up there, an aggressive hitter. See if he likes to go to that changeup here with 2 strikes.
Good battle by Bichette. Kind of hooks that one to third. DeZenzo gets the out there, and the turn is in time to get Bichette. Birdie had to reach for the ball and then had to make the throw, and they got Bichette by a couple of steps.
A nice changeup too. And a great turn by Birdie. And look at that stretch from Vinny Pasquantino.
A Pasquatch stretch. Both bullpens are warming, but both starters have been dealing. Enzo Sawayama for Brazil and Sam Aldigueri for Italy.
Yeah, it's been really a contrast. Last night, Team Brazil, difficult time throwing strikes. 221 pitches Team Brazil threw in that game against USA last night. Only 96 for strikes, but Sawayama's been in control, as has Aldigueri. Both pitchers been very impressive.
First pitch swinging, Pasquantino into the gap and caught by Mascai. So allowed out. And there's one down here in the 4th.
Yeah, completely different style of pitching. Sawayama attacking the strike zone. good things happen if you throw that ball over the plate and can mix in change of speeds. His changeup has been very good.
Brazil is using PitchCom today. And that pitch misses outside. You can see Sawayama put his glove above his ear. And they've got PitchCom attached to the shin guard. Canzone takes a strike. Last night, Brazil really had trouble, the pitchers, with pitch clock, the Major League protocol in terms of disengagements, all of that.
You know, when that can happen, listen, that USA lineup will kind of cross those wires up mentally. You've got so much you're thinking about, making good pitches, and your heart's racing 1,000 beats a minute. You can just see the pace of play has been much better, and Sawayama has been really in control.
Canzone shoots that one to the opposite side. Reginato across the diamond in time, and there's 2 outs. There's your usage from last night. Then the 3 pitchers, the starter. Contreras was outstanding, and of course his father, Jose, probably pretty thrilled that Joseph, all of 17, got that big double play ball from Judge.
Yeah, we were talking on the bus riding over here. I thought Aaron Judge in the post-game conference was talking about, a writer had asked him about Contreras being 17 years old, and I give a lot of credit to Aaron Judge in a day and age where, you know, players don't give pitchers or vice versa much credit, and he just said, it's amazing what he does at 17 years old. Aaron was saying that he couldn't imagine being 17 years old playing on that stage, and recognizing what a great young talent Contreras is, and spoke very highly of him. I thought it was really great. Not surprising, though, because if you've been around Aaron Judge at all, he's about as good as it gets on all fronts, on the field, off the field.
Desenzo takes outside. It feels like the further this game goes at this score, the more confidence Brazil is going to get. And they need a shot of that after the last few innings last night. It's a big swing by Desenzo. JP?
One thing to note, Italy has 6 left-handed hitters against a left-handed starter in Sawayama. And Dan, certainly you know, as a lefty pitcher, how rare it is that you get this many lefties to face. And it's notable that the only 2 hits Italy has thus far are from the right-handed John Birdie.
Yeah, sometimes, JP, when you put a lineup up and you have a lot of lefties, you kind of fall into a nice little pattern. It makes it a little bit easier as a starting pitcher. But when you have just a couple of lefties, you're used to throwing to that right-handed side, and most pitchers are one-sided. They're strong one side of the plate to the other, particularly with the fastball, with the exception of guys like Greg Maddux and John Smoltz, Roger Clemens, Pedro, those kind of guys that have elite stuff that can move the ball up, down, and in and out.
Sawayama finishes Italy through 4, scoreless.
Yeah, Sam Aldegheri has been on point. The changeup has been his best friend. Great sequence, 4-seam fastball up, straight changeup down and away, gets the swing and miss. This is what you're looking at as a hitter. The red line being that fastball that gets on you. Look what that changeup is. About a good 6-8 feet in front of home plate.
Lucas Rojo takes a strike. This could not have gone any better for both managers in terms of starting pitchers. You're in the 5th, comfortably under the pitch limit. 65 is the limit. Aldegheri's 56th here. Now, if you start an at-bat and you clip and pass 65, you can finish that at-bat, just so you know. O2 misses outside. No stressful innings for Aldegari.
Well, he's done a great job of not only using the fastball changeup combination, but its location has been on point. Kyle Teel wanted that fastball up and away, see if he could get some chase. And Aldegari delivered it right where Kyle Teel wanted. There's that great straight changeup again.
He's been dominant.
Boy, if you're a young pitcher watching at home, you've seen two guys been very successful. These are throwing 95, 96. There you see that split finger change grip.
7 strikeouts. A couple walks. Here is Meskai.
That's that third pitch. Slider able to dot that outside corner. 3 pitches he's been able to command. The fastball, changeup, and that pitch too, the slider.
One of the advantages for Italy not playing yesterday and starting with Brazil, they didn't run out the big guns in their rotation. No shine on Aldegari. He's been outstanding here, but they've got a rotation that's really good and deep. Swing and a miss there.
Yeah, headed by Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen. Your Francisco Cervelli, you have to be tickled to death where you're at right now. There's pitching coach Dave Righetti. Lots of experience and quality there. Dave Righetti, pitching coach for those great Giants teams. Wow, there's.
Whew. Meskai goes down. Good live fastball. JP.
They are loving this in San Martino Buon Albergo as Francisco Cervelli comes to the mound to make the pitching change. Upper right-hand corner, there are the family members of Samuel Aldegari. Father Sevi, mother Monica, his brother Mattia, who coaches a lot of the young people you see on that screen, growing the game in the Verona area.
How awesome is that? Francisco Cervelli did not signal to the bullpen yet, did he? Oh, here he
Well, someone's
comes.
coming in.
I'm not sure. He was on his way to the dugout and then stopped.
It sure looked like he had signaled on his way out of the dugout as he raised his right arm to signal the pitching change. In any case, a sterling start for Samuel Aldegari.
Yes. And the family has got to be incredibly proud. Gonzaga University product facing DuCarmo, and he misses outside with a breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, a little bit different look. That low 3/4 arm delivery. Awfully tough on righties. Uses that sweeper. Not a hard thrower. There's the sweeper right there. Kyle Teel peeling down the first base, see if they were able to get a check swing. Pretty much a 3-pitch guy. You throw that 2-seamer, throw the changeup, and that big sweeper.
Gets a strike there, evens the count 2-2.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Look at the radar gun, 85 miles an hour. But he kind of lulls you to sleep with that low 3/4 delivery. Tough to pick up the ball.
Came inside at 86 and struck him out. Aldegari loves it. Italy and Brazil halfway through. No runs yet. Italy, kind of a sleeper team in this pool. Exciting offense. Major leaguers in the lineup. They haven't scored yet against Brazil. And Andre Rienzo, the pitching coach, and part of the coaching staff out. Pitch comm issues right now. We were told yesterday and did not see Brazil using pitch comm, and they are using it in this game. And it looks like they have everything figured out. Kyle Teal has been waiting to hit here. He's leading off, and with more on him, here's JP.
Well, you discussed earlier the great connection we've already seen between Kyle Teal and Jorge Posada. Of course, Posada, the 4-time World Series championship catcher of the New York Yankees, and it really stood out to me that Jorge Posada arrived early to work with a lot of the young Team Italy players. Of course, Teal arrived a bit later after the initial wave of minor league players, but it just shows how much the instructional commitment is there from this group. And for a lot of the Italian coaches, specifically Francisco Cervelli, who now lives half of the year in Florence, Italy, that they are dedicated to growing the game. And you see Teal and Posada there. It's not just about this classic. Of course, they want to win this classic, but it's about sustaining the program, the 29 Classic, the ability to build in a group of Italian passport holders to compete and try to qualify for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. So yes, the Classic is really important, but in the European baseball too, it's the under-23 European Championships, under-23 World Cup, and other competitions as well.
Hey, JP, as they're finishing the warm-ups, that Olympic component to the World Baseball Classic is new this year, isn't it?
Very new, and for those that love international baseball, it's important to point out only 6 teams will play in the Olympic tournament in Los Angeles, and the 2 highest finishers from among the Americas, not including the U.S., in this WBC, have their tickets to LA.
Wow, that adds a whole level of pressure for these countries. Kyle Teal finally gets the at-bat here as the pitching change for Brazil. Hector Villarroel takes over. It's a Dan Plesac day at the ballpark. All lefties so
Yeah, it's
far.
been a lefty fest. Big guy throws him a little bit lower, 3/4 arm angle. Tough to pick up if you're a lefty, if you're Kyle Teal. Not sure how much info Team Italy has as far as video goes for some of these pitchers on Brazil. It's kind of first time you walk in the box, you're kind of on your own trying to find a release point, figure out what kind of pitches they use and what their go-to pitches are.
Teal takes a strike and it's 3-2. And you can see Teal's a little off balance. Sometimes the best you can do is get on the rail and just watch. Teal fights it off.
Good fastball there, 92 miles an hour, two-seam fastball, runs it down and into Teal.
Red Sox drafted him. You saw that 14th overall, first round in 23. Dealt in the Garrett Crochet trade to the White Sox. And he lines that one over the shortstop's head and into left center. Teal around first will hold there.
Now you can see why the White Sox are so high on Kyle Teal. His bat plays. He's really improved defensively as a catcher too. Pretty good pitch here from Villarreal. He doesn't try to pull it. He stays with it. Right back up that gap in left center field. Hustling out of the box too, thinking double right off the get-go. Very aggressive turn. I like to see that.
First pitch swinging. Caglione pops it up. It's not often that you see a shortstop let a third baseman wander over in front of him, but that's no ordinary third baseman. That's Leonardo Reginato, and he makes the catch in front of Karaji. Thomas Saggese now the 8-hitter. Just the third hit for Italy, and Saggese swings and misses.
Pretty good fastball there from Villarreal. 93 miles an hour with a little movement.
Parts of 2 years with the Cardinals. 82 games last year with St. Louis for Saggese. Out of Carlsbad, California. quickly it's 0-2.
Boy, what a stark difference. Team Brazil pitchers much more on the attack than last night. We touched on a couple of times. 17 walks last night from the Brazilian pitchers.
0-2 foul back. Again, the longer this game goes and is tight, it feels like Brazil, especially on the mound, gaining confidence. Check swing. Did he go? No swing.
Jay-Z might have caught a break there. We're going to look at it from the third base view. That's awful close. Live to fight to see another pitch.
Center field. Maciel makes the catch. We check in with JP.
Vinny Pasquantino, the captain of Italy, said the espresso machine was a necessity for this classic. And of course, it is back, the espresso machine. What I wonder is when Italy hits their first home run, after all the creative celebrations that we saw yesterday, does the home run hitter get an espresso as part of the celebration?
That's a good question. High chopper, that's over Bichette's head and down the line. Ramirez after it. Racing for third is Teal. They'll hold him there, and the throw comes in home. And the first real opportunity for either team in this game.
Really good job there by Lucas Ramirez to get to that ball and get it in quickly. Teal picked up the third base coach as he was rounding third, and he was being aggressive. If Ramirez would have bobbled at her, if not gotten to it in time, a pretty good chance with 2 outs they would have sent Teal. Good job there by Ramirez, not only to get to it quick, but to get it in.
Dante Nori with a double. And Andre Rienzo out for a visit with Villarroel.
See this high chopper. You see the swing by Nori. This ball, kangaroo bounces right over Bichette. Really good job here by Ramirez to get to this ball and get rid of it, and get rid of it quickly. And a low throw right towards home plate. Look at Teal right there. He's thinking score from first. Picks up his third base coach and a late hold. Vinny Pasquantino loving it. Team Italy with the chance to score this game's first run here with second and third. 2 outs here in the fifth.
Jacob Marcy, lefty on lefty here. Fly ball out, bounce into a fielder's choice. And Villarroel misses down low. 30 years old is the lefty for Brazil.
As a pitcher, you really have to trust that Del Carmo can keep the ball in front of you. Like to throw that breaking ball down in the dirt.
That's a strike. The closest Italy has come to a run was the third inning. Marcy was at first, then he got thrown out at third by Lucas Ramirez on John Birdie's single. Birdie's on deck. He's got 2 hits. A lot of call down there. Almost sounded like they were yelling about a balk.
Teal. Yeah, Teal very aggressive. You can get off as far as that third baseman is away from the bag at third base.
All 3 umpires can call the balk. All 4 can. Line drive. Caught. Rojo. Villarroel escapes. Brazil is still even with Italy. All right, here's a look at Villarroel.
Yeah, he never comes to a complete stop, and you can tell right there the catcher shortly afterwards kind of motioned to him, hey, you have to come to a complete stop. It was like one continuous delivery. You look at Kyle Teal going, hey, he never stopped. What's going on here?
Karaji now leads it off. Jacob misses out. The ire of Francisco Cervelli was focused at the second base umpire. And it's of note, because we talked about it yesterday, the umpires in the World Baseball Classic are from everywhere, all the professional leagues, with a good amount of them coming from Major League Baseball. And we're getting a look at a South Korean umpire behind home plate, Chun Il-soo. And I have to say, I think he's done pretty well.
He's been really good. It helps when your pitchers are around the strike zone, and both teams, Italy and Brazil, pitchers' command has been very good.
That's a strike. It's 3-2. You've got Zdeněk Zidek down at third. Brennan Miller. Roberto Ortiz also on the crew. That's a swing and a miss.
That's a great comeback. You fall behind 3-0. You're Alec Jacob, a terrific job. Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, and then he 3 consecutive right into the strike zone and throws this fastball four-seamer. Even though it's only 85 miles an hour, well located, terrific pitch.
One hit for Brazil. It was back in the third inning. The catcher, Gabriel do Carmo. Couple hitters here have threatened to bunt. Maciel takes a strike.
As a former pitcher, you're always kind of playing that comp game. You look at Jacob, he reminds me a lot of David Robertson, the way he wears those high socks, similar kind of lower arm delivery. Same kind of body build. Here's a look at the socks, the high socks right above the knee. David Robertson recently retired, had a terrific career. Some great years with the Yankees, the Philadelphia Phillies, a little bit with the White Sox.
I had a fan ask me in the hotel, how come Italy doesn't wear the colors of their flag in their uniform? Instead of red and green, they are blue. So our crack research staff has gone to work. There's a little pop out into shallow left. And that's the second out. It goes to all the way back to the House of Savoy. And if we have any questions about Italy, we usually turn to John Morosi. The significance of the House of Savoy, that's royalty, right? They wear blue, they don't wear the green and the red?
Correct. That is the royal color of the former monarchs of Italy, or what is now modern-day Italy, the House of Savoy. So that's why when you would wish an Italian team good luck, you typically say Forza Azzurri, which is go blue, effectively. That's what you would say for the Italian soccer team, and also, of course, the Italian baseball team. Interestingly, as a country, as it exists today, Italy was founded March the 17th, 1861. So while Italian culture writ large is certainly centuries older than ours here in the States, the country itself, Italy, is actually almost a century younger.
Good work by both Alec Jacob and John Morosi. It's a 1-2-3 inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the World Baseball Classic may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. Counts, descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent. Now that is Team Italy there, right?
And that's a manager thankful that his starting pitcher, Sam Aldegheri, was brilliant.
This is Birdie. He's been the best hitter for Italy in this one. Birdie doubled back in the first, single to right in the third. That's the ball that Marcy tried to stretch from first to third and was thrown out by Lucas Ramirez. Villarroel, second lefty to work, has fallen behind 3-0. Birdie last year 51 games with the Cubs, and he's aboard for the third time. And maybe now Italy can get something going. Birdie has pretty good speed, and you got big bats of Pasquantino, Canzone, and DeZenzo coming up.
Yeah, if you're hitting Pasquantino right now, got a guy in Villarreal is kind of losing the strike zone a little bit. I'm sure he's going to be aggressive. See a pitch he likes early, he's going to make a pass at it.
hammers it. Foul. And it's 0-1.
Normally, when a hitter lines a ball like that, you could pretty much guarantee this next pitch is going to be something soft down and away. See if he goes to that curveball. Minnie was sitting on that fastball, got it, hit a rocket.
Lifts that one in the air. Let's see if it's playable. Reginado. And it just lands on the other side of the screen. Oh, and 2.
Pasquantino in that aggressive mode right now. If you're Villarreal, you might want to try something way off that outside edge, see if he'll chase it.
Again, the infield really swung towards the first base line. With Bichette holding the runner, he's obviously there, but look how far over Rojo is, the second baseman. 1-2. Good pitch. Popped up. DeCarmo makes the catch.
Nice job there by DeCarmo, too. That high pop-up. Picked it up and make sure he threw his mask far away so he wouldn't have a chance to step on it. See, this is a mile-high hit up in the air. Look at DeCarmo right there. Sees where the ball is and watch this flick of the mask. Get rid of it. Make sure he doesn't backpedal and step on it and trip over the mask. Well done.
Canzone now, plenty of power here. 0 for 2. And he takes outside, it's 1-0. If you're just happening by, this is day 2 in Houston. This is Italy's first game. And this is Brazil playing, 13, 14 hours after they finished last night, losing by 10, 15-5 in 9 innings to Team USA.
Yeah, and if you're part of that staff of Team Brazil, you have to be awful proud the way your team is bouncing back. A little bit of sticker shock last night, that game with Team USA.
Chun Il-soo, the South Korean umpire, just caught one.
Might have caught him right on that right knee area, even though there's shin guards underneath those pants. The ball deflected off of Calzone's bat. Get a good look at it right here. You see that two-seam fastball. Watch the deflection here.
You know,
right off the knee.
That's an interesting shot there, and it shows the difference in umpires and umpiring style. Most major league umpires set up in the slot, and the slot is the space between the catcher and the hitter. He was set up in the old school way, which is right above the catcher. One of the reasons umpires don't want to normally set up right above the catcher, right behind him, is they're more prone to the foul tip to the mask that way. He's been really good this afternoon.
Yeah, his strike, he's had a very consistent strike zone on both the edges and the pitches that have been up and down. He's done a great job calling pitches.
Now he's a little more in the slot there. Runner goes, throw down, and in with a bag is Birdie.
Not much you can do if you're DeCarmo right here. You see that great jump by Birdie. Even if this throw is on the money, he had that walking lead. Nearly impossible to throw him out.
So an opportunity here for Italy. And Canzone takes outside. Fourth major league season coming up for Dominic Canzone. Cleveland native, Ohio State product. Fouls it off. He had a big game against Kansas City in mid-September. A 3-homer game. But I think that was the day that Cal Raleigh set one of his records, whether it was homers by a pinch hitter or homers by a catcher. And that kind of overshadowed it. Pitches outside.
Terrific at bat by Canzone there. Villarreal tried to see if he would get him to chase a breaking ball on 3-2. Really good at bat, plate discipline.
Mound visit. Rienzo's on his way to the mound. We check in with JP.
The DeZenzo family has traveled here from Ohio to watch. There is his father, Steve, front and center there in the camouflage Houston Astros hat. Zach's girlfriend Kate as well, and his mother Rachel are all in attendance. Interestingly, you have back-to-back Ohio State Buckeye teammates in this lineup. Canzone, who drew the walk, and DeZenzo, who is now due up. So both of them played together at Ohio State. There is certainly a Midwest flavor to this Italy roster, as I mentioned, to Ohio natives in Canzone and DeZenzo. And actually, 3 batters in a row, Nori, Marcy, and Birdie, all went to high school in Michigan.
You got it all covered. I mean, you're a big Italy guy. You're a big Michigan guy.
Sometimes, Rich, we get a fastball down the middle, and we just try to not miss it.
DeZenzo doesn't miss that. It's into right field. Ramirez up with it. Here comes Birdie. Here comes a throw. It's cut, and Italy is on the board.
A terrific piece of hitting there by DeZenzo. Gets a ball that's out over the plate, doesn't try to pull it. He hits a line drive right over first base. Little inside-out swing. Good look at it right here. You can see Bichette is playing off the bag, and he hits it just outside of his reach. Ramirez does a good job getting to it, but just too much speed by Birdie. You see Birdie, great secondary lead. He doesn't even pick up the third base coach. He was going.
Villarreal, the breaking ball to Kyle Teel. It's a big moment. Teel fouls this one back. For perspective on Brazil, 8 pitchers last night. Just 2 so far in this one.
Yeah, there's a happy rooting section right there. Made the trip to Houston worthwhile.
Teel, a base hit out into left center his last time up, and he takes up. It's 1-2. Italy has other arms ready in the bullpen if needed. Brazil, their pen has been working as well. Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout. And you got another lefty bat for Villarreal and Caglione.
Yeah, one of the better breaking balls that Villarreal has thrown. Pulled the string on a good breaking ball to Kyle Teel. That's a big out.
Caglione's lined out, popped out. Little floater, foul. Scouting report on Italy. Good hitters. They've got pop in the lineup, obviously. Pasquantino, Canzone, Caglione, Teel, but top and the bottom of the order, they want to put this game in motion. And the stolen base by Birdie is big in this inning. That's a strike. Caglione, a chopper off of Bichette's glove and down the line. That's another run. Canzone will score. DeZenzo coming home. Throw from the corner is in time. They got him. A reaching tag by DuCarmo.
Aggressive send, but a good throw.
Out at the plate, a run scores. Lucas Ramirez throws out the second runner of the day. It's 2-0, Italy. Italy, Gordon Graceffo.
A guy with some major league experience. A couple of big runs there from Team Italy, take a 2-0 lead in the 7th inning. This one going just as scripted. Your Francisco Cervelli get 4 2/3 quality work out of Sam Aldeguer in the bullpen. Has been very good since.
And you've got Graceffo, a major league arm here, in his first World Baseball Classic. This will be his 3rd major league season, all with the Cardinals. Lucas Ramirez. What a start for Lucas Ramirez to this World Baseball Classic. 2 homers against 2 big arms from Team USA last night. And today he follows it up by throwing 2 runners out, 1 at third and 1 at the plate.
And just a couple of days before this Pool B play entered, hit a home run in the Cactus League off of Jacob deGrom. So making a name for himself the last week to 10 days. Lucas Ramirez, remember the name.
Leonardo Reginato, Dante Bichette Jr. will follow for Brazil, now down 2-0. Graceffo, that's a major league fastball at 97.
Yeah, that's 97 with a little bit of angry on it too. You can, if you're listening at home, you can hear him grunting as letting it go. There's nothing touchy-feely about Graceffo. He's going to get it and let it eat.
'98, high heat.
One of the things you like to do, you bring your relievers in and out of the bullpen. If they're aggressive pitchers, you want to go out there and let them be aggressive. And Graceffo has come out throwing bullets here early, consistently 96 to 97 miles an hour. Take a look at his arsenal. He used that 4-seamer, and he should. He's got a good one.
Reginato. Reginato, an 0 for 1. Graceffo, that ball smacked in the gap, right center. Let's see if it gets to the wall. Oh, cut off there. Caglione, terrific play. That looked like extra bases for sure.
Boy, that is a terrific job by Caglione. That ball hit right on what's that 370 marker in the bullpen. Does a great job of cutting this off. A former pitcher, too, at the University of Florida. You can see that arm strength, gets it in quickly.
So a base runner with 1 out. Here is Bichette, who has struck out and bounced into a double play. Caglione, 6'5", 250.
Yeah, there is nothing small about Mr. Caglione. You can see why the Royals are so high on him. Struggled a little bit in his initial go-around in Major League Baseball, but I think you're going to see this guy turn out to be a terrific big league ball player. Great skill set, physical presence.
Graceffo's 2-0. And Bichette rolls it foul.
Yeah, one of the things, too, when you cut a ball like that off, you keep the double play in order instead of a man on second and 1 out. Not that Graceffo is a ground ball type pitcher, but anytime you can keep that double play in order, it's so important. Bichette doesn't run all that well. He bounced into a double play earlier in the game.
Reginato at first. 2-1's up and in. It's 3-1. Rojo, the 5-hitter on deck. Just 2 hits all game for Brazil. Reginato's single here in the 7th. The second one, the 3-1 coming.
Another good fastball, 3-1 count. You think Bichette's going to get that bad start? He did. 96 miles an hour with a little bit of tail running in. Tied up Dante Bichette Jr.
Breaking ball, a beauty.
Well, if you're Bichette, that's all you can do. You've seen nothing but high-octane fastballs. And Grifecko right here, look at this, 3-2 breaking ball and a dandy. A lot of courage to throw that pitch in a spot like this if you miss with it. Sometimes you know what the right pitch is as a pitcher. If you can execute the pitch, well done on a 3-2 curveball.
Rojo almost wore that one. That was up and in. "13 punch-outs." So an Italian record in the World Baseball Classic.
Boy, another good breaking ball, hard slider, 88 miles an hour. Used the curveball to strike out Bichette on the 3-2 pitch. Puts a little bit more mustard on that one. Sharp breaking slider and a good one.
"1-1.
You know, it's funny, we've had a chance now to see the third game of this Pool B, and you can almost tell just by the body language, a guy that has some big league experience, the mound presence that they have, right? Just ability to make quality pitches when you need to make them.
There's the grunt. There's 98. Rojo not real big, 5'6", 150.
See if he goes to that curveball, the one he struck Bichette out. Be a good time to go to something off speed. You're throwing a 4-seam fastball up in the zone. Change the eye level, may be able to lock him up, buckle him up with something off speed.
Strike 3 called.
Went to the express, 98 miles an hour, well located.
And Italy protects the lead. It's 2-0, 7th inning stretch in Houston.
One head to the top, keep it going, we don't stop. One head, do it now, it's your moment, make it count. We got one head.
Sam Aldegheri, the starting pitcher for Italy, set the tone with 8 strikeouts, 14 strikeouts total now that the bullpen has come in, and a 2-0 lead for Italy in the bottom of the 7th. And Brazil goes to Murilo Gouveia.
Right now, if you're Gouveia, you want to try to keep it right here. Game well within reach. Italy able to get a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, take a 2-0 lead. Pitching has been so much better for Team Brazil.
Check swing, and Sagasi goes around. Sagasi, Nori, Marcy, 8-9-1 for the Italians. That's a generous corner from Chun Il-Soo.
Sagasi didn't like that call. Looked like it might have been a ball or two off the outside edge. Get a good look at it right here. A couple of balls off the outside corner. Sagasi doesn't like it.
Italy has 6 hits to go with their 2 runs. Nori has one of those hits, a double back in the 5th.
Good changeup right there in a 1-out count. Get right back in the count.
Gouveia, one of the more experienced international arms for Brazil. Orbit is here.
fan favorite of the young. There's a little young guy right there taking in the game.
I sense a little bit of apprehension from the youngsters who may not be aware of Orbit's game.
Every time I see the mascots, when I was playing for the Cubs, my daughter Madeline, we had her, I believe, her 5th birthday at Busch Stadium. She was horrified of Fred Bird. So not all mascots are loved.
Breaking ball misses away. It's 3-2. Driven to right. That is deep. That is gone. Dante Nori. The 21-year-old and it's 3-0.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter, Rich. Fastball up and away, gets the barrel to it. Just was a matter of how deep it was going to go. You could tell by the trajectory and the sound off the bat that he made solid contact.
There it is. JP was correct. The espresso machine works. Little espresso in the dugout.
Boy, look at this contact right here. Catches that fastball out front. Hits it about 8 rows deep. Take a shot at that espresso. It's like, wow, that is strong right there.
More like it looked like it was more like Cuban coffee. Marcy now. And Gouveia misses out. And the 2-0 is a strike. So Italy has opened up a 3-0 lead over Brazil. I think if you're scouting Italy and you're Brazil, there's certain guys you don't want to have beat you. Pasquantino, Canzone especially. Those guys have been quiet. It was Birdie with 2 hits. He scored the first run back in the 6th. Then lower down in the lineup, Nori with a double and a home run.
Yeah, kind of like what Team USA did last night. That bottom part of the order, Bryce Terang with that big bases clearing double in the 5th inning to drive in 3 runs. You just never know where danger's lurking in that lineup as a pitcher.
I'd like to see a WBC team of all Brian Terangs just to see how they would fare, because he's last night he was on it.
Well, we were talking about that last night, Rich. If there was ever a perfect guy to play the kind of style that the Brewers and Pat Murphy like to play, it's Bryce Terang. Kind of gritty, lunch pail, blue collar kind of player.
Pitch is outside. Marcy walks. And now the challenge for Brazil is don't revert back to late innings last night, where suddenly they grew tentative and could not throw strikes. Hey, yeah, I could hear that phone all the way up here. Here's Birdie. Runner bluffs. Birdie pops it down that right field line, and it's foul.
Birdie's had himself quite a night. 2 for 2 with a double, a walk, run score.
He's 36, a free agent, but it feels like he's got more baseball left in him.
Yeah, he'd be a very valuable player on a good team. Guy that can play multiple positions, puts the ball in play, can run. Just a solid player.
Birdie is out of Bowling Green University. He's played every position in Major League Baseball. Pitches away. Had a really nice run, kind of got his first chance with the Marlins. Yankees, Toronto, Cubs last year. And a swing and a miss. And so Birdie goes down. Dante Nori is another fascinating guy. Young player, just emerging. And JP, kind of like what we see here.
Great athlete, great family. His father, Micah, is an assistant coach with the Minnesota Timberwolves of the NBA, and Micah is trying to make it here in time for tomorrow's game. This afternoon, well, the day job is kind of getting in the way. His Timberwolves are hosting the Magic in a game that starts right now. So his son homered in the WBC almost at exactly tip-off time. Micah is known for his very engaging interviews. I hope he's interviewed during that NBA game today.
Well, if he gets here tomorrow night, we should interview him.
We certainly will. I know I'm going to try.
Right. Pasquantino. An 0 for 3. See his numbers with the Royals. Career high homer. 113 runs driven in.
Kind of waiting to see if Vinny gets a hold of one and hits one out of here. If that Sasquatch monster starts walking on those train tracks out there in left field, pops out of that train track, and that train loaded with baseballs, and that Sasquatch would pop up.
It pitches away, and so there's runners first and second. That train that's up on the rails, a celebratory train, so to speak, for the Astros. This was what, Minute Maid Park when it opened, and those were not baseballs when it opened. Those were big oranges, or at least for some they were oranges. I remember after a rough night game the next day, Lou Piniella, the skipper of the Mariners, remarking about one long home run. Maybe it was Bagwell. I forget who hit it. He goes, yeah, he hit it up there on the pumpkins. They had to tell Lou, no, Lou, those are oranges.
Those are oranges, Lou. It's Minute Maid.
3-0. Italy's on top. Ochi, who's been pitching in Australia and pitching quite well with a 1.23 ERA. A lot of lefties coming out of the bullpen, and the starter, Enzo Sawayama. Let me unfold my tongue as Dominic Canzone stands in. Canzone is lined out, bounced out, walked and scored. A 3-0 lead with 2 outs.
We were supposed to meet JP down the lobby to go over those phonetic spelling and pronunciations this morning. You were late getting on that shuttle. See? It cost you.
Come on. Here's a 1-1.
Rich, I'm going to do my best, my friend, tomorrow. I'm going to make it up to you, I promise.
Yeah, JP, we were looking for it. We had signs that would go. We need some help here.
Well, but I do want to make it up to you by mentioning this as we wait on this pitch, that Nick Ward, who plays for Team Great Britain, also played for Adelaide of the Australian Baseball League, and that's the game tonight. Great Britain against Team USA. So looking forward to that one as well.
That's going to be a good one tonight. 2-2 pitch coming. Canzone, deep right field, not coming back. That is upper tank. And that's the power that the Mariners love about this lefty bat. Dominic Canzone.
I'm going to tell you what, that was a Class 1A backflip, too, by the Dominator, Dominic Canzone. Kind of blowing this game open late for Team Italy, and they're loving it. Going to get a shot of that espresso when he gets into the dugout. He's hit enough of them, Rich, to know when he gets there it is.
It's getting it ready.
Then he's got it ready.
The last one apparently didn't taste too good.
Yeah, that looks like that almost.
10:40.
Woo-wee, yeah. All right, Dom, baby, ready.
Fouled off. I'm not sure which was worse, the espresso or the kiss.
I think after this one tonight, there are going to be some members of Team Italy who talk to Vinny and say, hey, man, you got to
Dial it down.
You got to dial it down a little bit. This is like drinking WD-40.
Well, Dan and Rich, my observation there was Vinny Pasquantino is a very talented player. Speed is not his foremost attribute. He raced down that dugout to start the machine as soon as he crossed home plate. You could tell he said, get out of my way. Don't congratulate me too much. And I would say Vinny, an 80 runner on the 80 scouting scale to be sure he got there to start the espresso machine.
Lots of smiles in that dugout, Team Italy.
Pitch misses outside. So let's, while we have a chance, go through the home run celebrations we've seen so far, right? Harry Ford's home run, he was one of the red coat guards, and then I think there was a sword involved, a little knighting. What was Team USA? Did Judge get any, I don't think they had one, did they?
No, everybody just forearm bashes when Judge hits him out. I'll tell you, it was nice to see last night when he hit that one. You could see the excitement in the Team USA dugout. How about your first at-bat in WBC? Aaron Judge hits a 2-run bomb.
That's Teal, and he lines one into right, and it's scooped up by Ramirez. Now, Mexico had two different celebrations yesterday. The luchador mask, the wrestler, and then the return of the sombrero, which was popular in 2020.
Yeah, I like the sombrero look. I thought that was a classic look.
Caglione now. Nakaoshi getting a visit from Ducarmo. Those guys were together for a long time, right?
There's some World Series rings right there. Cervelli and Jorge Posada.
Up the middle, Karaji gets to the bag and ends the inning. Big 7, big swing, big fly. Dominic Canzone and Italy, a 6-0 lead. Graceffo continues to pitch for Italy, and he misses up.
Pitched a really strong 7th inning, struck out the side. A base hit by Regalado, the only blemish. Threw the ball really well in the 7th inning.
He's been in the mid to upper 90s. Miles Mastrobuoni is now at third base. Takes over for DeCenzo. A little better defense out there. Victor Mascai, 0 for 2, struck out twice in the 2nd and in the 5th. A lot of strikeouts in this one for Brazil. 14 total. They've walked twice. They have 2 hits. They had a much easier time against Logan Webb, Michael Wacha, Gabe Spire, And at the end, Mason Miller last night had 5 runs, hit 3 homers. Check swing, no swing. That one fouled out of play. Brazil opens pool play here, and they play straight through. They're not getting an off day. Tomorrow night they play Mexico, and then the next day they come back at noon and play Great Britain. No swing there. And Mascai is aboard. DuCarmo, Karaji to come after him. This is going to be a pitching change. Francisco Cervelli on his way out to the mound. Italy's been so good on the mound in this one. 6-0. Italy on top in the 8th.
Also is the topic of discussion. Italy has homered twice, which means we have seen the new home run celebration on 2 different occasions. To clarify, this is not a problem of taste. I was told by highly placed Italian sources, it's just too hot. The espresso has just been brewed and come out hot, which is why Dom Canzone couldn't handle it. So again, the taste is perfectly fine. Now, the workaround that I'm told, again, from my highly placed Italian sources, is they may actually just brew the espresso before the offensive half inning starts. And if they homer, they consume the espresso. If they don't, they may just hand it over to me, which is really unsettling, because if they go 5 or 6 innings without homering, then I'm all of a sudden 5 or 6 espressos deep, and I'm not sure you're ready for that.
JP, what about an iced beverage?
Now that's a great suggestion. We're early in the Classic, Rich. We have a lot of days to workshop this. I will send this to my friends in the Italian leadership.
It's going to go to the highest levels.
Yeah, some impressive numbers too. The Viscotti, look at that ERA, 2.01. Great strikeout to walk ratio, 56 punch-outs, and only 15 walks.
Third reliever out of the bullpen. Francisco Cervelli got a really nice start from Sam Algadari. 4 2/3 innings. Bullpen's been solid since. Jacob, Graceffo, Scotti. And a swing and a miss there.
Really good curveball there from Claudio Scotti. Change speed, 78 miles an hour. Look at the arm speed is there. Great 12-6 action.
Karaji now. Just the 2 hits for Brazil. And if they're going to get a win in this pool play, obviously the bat's going to have to come to life. Out there, the turn by Sajasi is not in time.
Really nice turn there by John Birdie to get that lead runner. No chance really for a double play, but he had the presence of mind to get that lead runner. See a little inside-out swing. Able to take that little drop step back. Been a really solid game for Team Italy. Defense has been on point. Pitching started by Sam Algarari. He was terrific.
It's not Timmy Trumpet, but that may be another John Morosi insider report. The Brazilian trumpeter. One of the under-the-radar cool things about the World Baseball Classic is when they do the introductions and they play the national anthems from these countries that you haven't heard in a while. You know, the Olympics, you get it for the gold medal, right? Here, you get it before each game from the nations that are involved. I have to say, of the anthems that I've heard so far, Great Britain, to me yesterday, was really, really cool.
It was a classic. It was very well done, too.
.3-0 pitch. That's a strike. John, you have a favorite anthem so far of the 5 teams in this pool?
Well, now you're asking me to pick between my countries. This is a tough one. They're all beautiful. Really, they all are. And actually, it was interesting that the first time, maybe the second time that God Save the King was played in competition was at the World Baseball Classic qualifiers. But I do have a really special spot in my heart for Fratelli d'Italia. I don't hear it often. Of course, I hear the other family anthem of ours quite often. And so to hear it and sing it today was pretty special for me.
Very cool. And you can see the fans that have traveled here and the fans of these countries are have that same feeling when they hear their anthem. Maciel, the 9-hitter, struck out twice. Smacks one into right field with a runner on the move. That's a base hit. Mascai to third. He'll hold there. Caglione gets it back in. And just like that, Brazil, with 2 outs, has an opportunity to get on the board. And yeah. That's the universal anthem to let's go. Well, Osvaldo Carvalho is announced as a pinch hitter, and he's their best pinch hit weapon. JP?
Yes, Yuichi Matsumoto told us earlier today that this was precisely the spot that he wanted to get Carvalho in. He is known for his power. He now has multiple runners on base, of course. This is the moment. I also found it interesting that for the mound visit for Team Italy to speak with Scotti, it was Alessandro Maestri, the assistant pitching coach, along with Dave Righetti. Of course, Maestri, Italian born and raised pitcher who had a great performance in the 2013 Classic. So that was an Italian to Italian mound visit.
It's a nice touch. So Carvalho now against the right-hander. And this is Brazil's best shot to get a run here. We talked about this unique guy last night during the Team USA game. Carvalho, the carpenter, a construction worker. Works 9 to 5 and then plays baseball at night. 2-0 pitch. Hops that one up. Mastrobuoni is there, and he makes the catch. Still no runs for Brazil.
Yeah, Team Italy with a 6-0 lead. It all started with Sam Algareri. He was brilliant. Great straight changeup, only 3 hits allowed. Commanded the fastball, the changeup, mixed in some curveballs. Changeup was his bread and butter pitch, and from the first pitch till he left in the 5th inning, 4 2/3 scoreless baseball with 8 strikeouts, elevated the fastball and that changeup to go along with it. Set the table. Gets a nice little pat on the face from manager Francisco Cervelli.
6-0. It's our first game of 2. United States, Great Britain tonight. And a first pitch from Chad Araujo is high. Alabama State. And he's last year at Alabama State 2024 had a pretty good season. Misses high with a fastball here. Sagasi in the 8th spot for Italy. The big inning was the four runs in the bottom of the 7th. After 2 in the bottom of the 6th. This was a tight game, a scoreless game, until Italy 2 innings ago finally got on the board.
Yeah, this one really about as well scripted if you're Francisco Cervelli. You get 4 and 2 quality innings out of Algarí.
Reginato. That was close.
Yeah, they got him.
Bang, bang, got him down to JP.
Sagese has, Rich and Dan, one of my favorite names in the entire World Baseball Classic. Because in Italian, Sagese has a beautiful translation. It means wise, wisdom. So if you say, lui è sagese, he is wise. It's a beautiful name. So he's on the all-name team already.
Very nice. One out here.
Yeah, which would suggest that he probably won't be sipping from that line, right? He's not going to take a shot of that espresso. He's a wise guy. He's seen what's happened beforehand.
That's a major fine to not participate in a home run celebration, right?
Yeah, you're right. You know what? You put a lot of thought into it. When he passed Quintino, he's the brewmaster down there, getting that espresso on point. Dante Nori had a taste of that espresso.
Oh, did he? He's had a really nice afternoon. He's walked, he's doubled, he's homered. Cracks that one to right. That's deep. That's gone. That's 2 for Dante Nori.
Well, we'll see if Vinny's made any adjustments to the espresso when he gets into the dugout to greet the fellas.
It's game on. DeZenzo now has it going. He's already tasted it once.
Yeah, he's going to get a double dose of that espresso Italiano if Vinny's got it already for him.
It was too hot the last time. It looks like he kept it down this time. We had, you know, look, it's the Bible in baseball and television is you don't miss a pitch. So the dilemma there for our very talented and award-winning director Ben Johnston was, do I take the drink or do I take the pitch? The answer is you take the pitch. But I'm sure we have maybe super slow-mo replay on the taste. Here's the 2-1 to Marcy. There's a roller out towards second. All right, here comes the whole sequence.
Boy, he's out in front of this one and catches. This is a no-doubter. He's caught 2 right on the screws in the Team Italia bullpen. They're loving life out there. There it is.
That's a better...
Yes, kept that one down there. Well done, Dante.
Birdie now. 2 hits, 3 trips, scored a run, walked. So if the other teams were to shift from wearing hats or luchador masks to beverages of the countries, that would be an interesting twist. Great Britain, that's easy. They'd have to brew the tea pretty quickly on the home run trot. Birdie's got another extra base hit as he rolls it down into the corner. And so 2 doubles and a single for John Birdie. And a 7-0 Italian lead.
Lots of smiles in that Team Italy dugout. This was a close game heading into the 5th inning. They've kind of blown things open. courtesy of the long ball.
What would the Brazilian drink be? I've got a pretty good idea on Mexico.
A shot of tequila.
That's
You're thinking, right?
Yes. And maybe do the Pee Wee Herman dance.
See if we can't get Vinny into the espresso party here, since he's the brewmaster.
See that, if that happens, you're going to have like 8 guys racing for the machine, and they're going to make it as hot as they can get it for him.
So we're going to get you back, Vinny.
An 0 for 3 day. He lined out in 1 at bat and a fastball that's up. Not as long as last night, but certainly maybe even more frustrating for Brazil.
Yeah, credit though, Sawayama, he started this thing off. He pitched very well for the Brazil team. Run into some difficulty here the last couple of innings, but a much more efficient style of pitching from Team Brazil compared to last night. They had a nightmarish outing as far as their pitching goes.
.416 on Canzone's home run. And he rolls that one into the outfield. That's going to chase home Birdie. Dominic Canzone has driven in 3 runs in his last 2 at-bats. Mastrobuoni gets his first at bat. Remember, he came in for DeZenzo defensively. And the pitch is in. Now, per World Baseball Classic rules, if he were to knock one in the gap and 2 runs would score, that would be actually a walk-off win in the 8th inning, because you get a 10-run cushion and you're the home team. The home team has to hit, and that would be the run rule of after 7. That would be a unique walk-off. Mastrobuoni swings and misses. All right, here's the celebrations we have so far. Espresso for Italy. Luchador. King's Guard for Great Britain. Oh, wow. Drink it down. Scotty continues into the 9th. Lucas Ramirez getting an AB, and I believe we have a, was that a ball called? Not sure. Well, just a timeout. Lucas Ramirez pops that one down into the seats. So Lucas Ramirez last night had the 2 home runs. Today, he's 0 for 2, but he's thrown 2 runners out at the plate.
Yeah, he has really a great skill set. His father, Manny, one of the best right-handed hitters this game's seen in a long time. Get the home run last night to start things off for Brazil off of Logan Webb. Then went a little left on left off of Gabe Spire later on in the game. 2 home runs that he touched on, Rich. A couple of great throws from right field. Very athletic player. You can see why the Angels think he has a bright future.
And as we noted last night, and we've talked about, he is Manny Ramirez's son. Tonachi is at second base. Ramirez fouls that one. Counts 1-2. Great Britain and Team USA tonight, 7 o'clock Houston time.
Fouls this one off of his left thigh. You can see that right there. It hurts too.
It used to be hitters only fouled it off their lead foot. Now, hitters are fouling it off of everything, like knees, shins, thighs, and both legs.
You can see also at the end of that bat how that bat is uneven. Doesn't have a traditional knob at the end of the bat. For guys that like to go down on the bottom part of that bat, it can be a problem. We've seen a couple of big leaguers with that hamate problem with that bone when you have your hand wrapped around that bottom part of that handle of that bat.
Let's check in with JP.
Already an eventful day in the World Baseball Classic. How about Ozzie Albies, that Pool D mentioned? Nicaragua was on the verge of a historic win before the walk-off by Albies in Canada with a really young, exciting lineup, an important win for them. Julio Teheran was not able to pitch that day, so certainly a tough result for Colombia. And then Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei Ohtani things. A very close matchup between Japan and Korea.
Ramirez, right field. That one's going to stay in the yard. Caglione makes the catch. A good jolt to right.
Here right off the bat, there could have been home run number 3 in a couple of games for young Lucas Ramirez. You think you'd see the bat flip. He thinks he gets this one. Unfortunately, Jack Caglione was there to catch it on the warning track.
Vitor Ito swings and misses. Had that ball left the yard, it obviously would have ended the shutout. 20 years to the day since the only other shutout by Team Italy. That was in 2006 against Australia in the very first World Baseball Classic. I mean, how good is Bryce Kerr, our leader of the Crack Staff research department? We've traveled a lot of them here, but Bryce is their captain, their point guard.
He's on top of everything too. Number of pitches to strikes, any inside info, late additions. Kudos to you, Bryce. You're doing a great job, and we thank you.
One and two the count. Ito, start last night. He was 0 for 4. Scotty bounces it up there. Really impressed by the bullpen arms for Italy. That's a good sign to go with Lorenzen and Nola as their next 2 game starters. Not necessarily in that order. Ito, little tapper. Mastrobuoni not going to get him. That's a base hit.
Not much you can do with that one if you're Mastrobuoni. Ball that eats him up. He kind of fists it. Little soft 2-hopper right at the bag at third base. Playing off the line. You see this ball almost hits in foul territory. Mastrobuoni does all he can do, get to it and get rid of it quickly.
JP, good story at first base.
Great story. During the regular season, he works for the Hanshin Tigers of NPB as an interpreter. So he is a Japanese to Portuguese interpreter and also a Japanese to Spanish interpreter. He is multilingual, and as NPB gets even more multinational, bringing in players from Latin America, Ito was one of the people that helps to tell their story.
He's the best hitting interpreter I've ever met. There's a catch by Pasquantino. That's not an easy play, and he made it nicely.
Yeah, great job there by Vinny. Big guy, but I'll tell you what, he plays a really good first base. A lot of ground to cover in foul territory here. He goes a long way for this one. Knows that the ball is going to be coming back to him.
It was Enzo Hayashida with a very brief pinch hitting appearance on the pop out. Rojo now. Quickly the count's 0-1. Rojo struck out twice and flied out. An out away from a shutout win. Great Britain, Team USA tonight. And here's a 1-1. It's 2-1. Italy's schedule after this: Great Britain tomorrow. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball there from Scouty. One strike away, and Francisco Cervelli kind of sensing a victory here. This would be a good way to start Pool B play for Team Italy. Had the day off yesterday.
Italy has 2 days off before they face USA on the 10th, and then Mexico on the 11th to end pool play here. The Italians want to get going here. They want that strike zone expanded from Chin Il Su. Three-two pitch. Ito's running, bouncer towards shorts. In time, so JC throws him out. An impressive start to this World Baseball Classic for Team Italy.
Yeah, great win for Team Italy, 8-0. It all started with the starting pitching. Sam Aldegheri was brilliant. 4 2/3 scoreless baseball, couple of walks and 8 strikeouts. Francisco Cervelli's bullpen able to complete the shutout. Some timely hitting, some long balls, and some really good starting pitching equals a big win for Team Italy.
2023 was Italy's best World Baseball Classic ever. They beat the Netherlands, they beat Cuba to get to the quarterfinals. Maybe this year they'll go even further. The first step, a shutout win over Brazil. Great Britain and Team USA coming up 7 o'clock Houston time. For everyone here in Houston, thanks for joining us. Stick around later tonight. Team USA and Great Britain. Espressos for everybody.